The Best Hawaii, presented by American Savings Bank and Hawaiian Telecom.
Everybody asks, like, how did you get the name Rainbow Drive?
On this episode of The Best Hawaii, we sit down with famed chef and restaurateur Ro Yamaguchi, learn about his new eating house concept, and his commitment to his family history and heritage.
Hey Roy,
That was it.
thank you for having me. So tell me a little bit about the beginning, your history, coming to Hawaii and your culinary career.
Well, let's see. I was born and raised on an army base in Japan, and that's where I took home ec when I was 16 years old and realized that that was probably my passion. Not because I was good at cooking, but because, friends of mine said, we can meet, girls in class. So that was kind of the hook of it. So once I took home ec, I got really interested in cooking and invited my school counselor. And he says, Roy, you might have a knack for this. So, I pursued culinary from the very, very beginning, from Japan to New York to attend the Culinary Institute of America. And then from there moved to Los Angeles and worked in a lot of different types of restaurants. I really felt like this is what I really want to do for the rest of my life. From when I was a child, my father did most of the cooking at home. So, there was that taste from my childhood memories that I always remembered from my father's cooking and my grandfather's cooking. And then so I kind of combined all of that together and kind of created my own style of cooking.
Tell us more about the concept of eating house and that evolution for you.
Well, see, eating house, when I first decided I was going to do something different other than Roy's, I was sitting in my office one day and I was thinking to myself, what do I want to do and what do I want to call the restaurant? So I said to myself, God, I really wonder who opened the first restaurant in Hawaii and what year. So when I was, doing some research, of course, Wikipedia, comes up. But anyways, it said Peter Fernandez, this Portuguese fellow, businessman, said that he opened the first restaurant in Hawaii, and probably somewhere around Bishop Street, somewhere around there, in the year 1849, and called it Eating House. So, a tribute to a man like Peter Fernandez, and also my grandfather, who was really into cooking plantation-style food, because my grandfather opened his first restaurant back in the early 40s on Maui, and because he worked on a plantation.
So are you tired of eating your food?
No, I always enjoy eating it. Yeah. So this is the paella rice. So this is, most paellas are dry, but mine is wet, and it's more of a kind of like a stew. And the reason why I do that is because my father, and he would always make a tomato-based stew, and so I really enjoyed eating that stew. So what I wanted to do was to put that into a paella dish, because paella normally is kind of Spanish, and it's dry, but I wanted to make it more Hawaiiana. So
Yeah. The best paella on the island.
you need the clam juice, you need the tomato stew. You saute it with a little garlic, and you kind of stew the tomatoes with herbs, and then you put a little bit of paprika in there. And then, you can kind of stew that, white wine. You leave that to the side. And then when you make the rice, you make a saffron rice. And you can't cook it all the way because, you're going to cook it once more. So you kind of cook it for a little bit. Get the nice color, the nice yellow color to it. And then you have the final product where you combine all of those things together. But as you start the process, you have to again saute some onions, you saute some garlic, bay leaf, and some more paprika, some saffron, and then you put some white wine, some clam stock. Get everything going. Cook the the clams, again with the chorizo and the Portuguese sausage, and then getting all the flavors from the seafood into the dish itself. And it's the final product is
unreal.
All the flavors all come together.
And it's that big too.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a lot of people can share that.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, they can share it, but they just can't order that and have it for 10 people or something.
I feel like for one person, that's a really, really generous portion.
And so we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and we have different events that we have done throughout the state, starting from January. I wanted to kind of celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Japanese coming to Hawaii and show the transformation of what has come about. And what I wanted to showcase was the type of food that it has become, 150 years later. So
unreal. I'm glad you were talking because then I just got to eat.
yeah, it's hard to talk when you put it in your mouth. Except for I'm used to doing it anyways. But
Cheers.
Cheers.